Hello my dear students. Today we are going to the topic lipoprotein chemistry. Before entering into lipoprotein, we must know what is lipid. Lipids are fatty compounds in our body and these lipids are insoluble in water. So we need lipoprotein for the transport of lipid. Okay, so now we are entering into the topic lipoproteins. Lipoprotein is a complex of protein and lipids of characteristic density, molecular weight and size. What are the total amount of lipids? Total plasma lipid that is equal to 400 to 600 milligram per dl. And this lipids contain 40% cholesterol, 30% phospholipid, 20% triglyceride. Lipids are insoluble in water. So we need carriers in plasma. Therefore, these lipids are complexed with proteins and forms lipoprotein. The protein part of lipoprotein, it is called apolipoprotein. What is the protein part of lipoprotein? It is apolipoprotein. Okay. And these proteins and lipids in a lipoprotein held together by non-covalent bonds. Okay. So, in case of lipoprotein, lipids and proteins are there. Lipids are insoluble in water. That's why we need a carrier. It is protein. And the protein part of lipoprotein is known as apolipoprotein. They are linked together by non-covalent bonds. Now, we are entering into classification of lipoprotein. There are two types of classification based on electrophoretic mobility and the second one based on density determined by their behavior in ultracentrifuge. So, based on lipoprotein electrophoresis method. In case of electrophoretic method, we can classify the lipoproteins into four types, which are they? Chylomicron, LDL, VLDL and HDL. Okay. So, at the position of origin, we can see chylomicron and after that LDL. LDL is also known as pre-beta lipoprotein. Then VLDL, LDL is known as beta lipoprotein. VLDL is known as pre-beta lipoprotein and HDL. HDL is the first one that moves towards anode at first. It is known as alpha lipoprotein. So, from back to front, we can call HDL, VLDL, LDL and chylomicron. Chylomicron at the origin and the fast mobility in case of HDL. Here, based on electrophoretic mobility, there are four types: alpha lipoprotein HDL, pre-beta lipoprotein VLDL, beta lipoprotein LDL and chylomicron. HDL migrate first and chylomicron remains at the region of application of sample. Next one, that is the separation of lipoprotein based on density. Based on density, we can classify it into five types, which are the chylomicron, VLDL, IDL, LDL, HDL and finally we can see some amount of fatty acids and albumin. Okay, there are five types of classification based on density. It is chylomicron, VLDL, IDL, LDL, HDL. This IDL is known as intermediate density lipoprotein. Okay, so there are five types in case of density based classification. Okay, once again, based on density in the ultracentrifuge, there are five types: chylomicron, VLDL very low density lipoprotein, IDL intermediate density lipoprotein, LDL low density lipoprotein, HDL high density lipoprotein. Which are the general functions of lipoprotein? We discuss definition, what is lipoprotein, then about classification, two types of classifications are there, and the next topic is general functions of lipoprotein. General functions of lipoprotein. Wide variety of functions are there in cell membrane, transport and metabolism of lipid. In plasma, lipoprotein transport lipids from the site of their absorption to various tissues that use lipids. So, after digestion and absorption, the lipids are transported by these lipoproteins. Which are those lipoproteins? chylomicron, HDL, IDL, VLDL, LDL, and these lipoproteins transport lipids from the site of their absorption to various tissues that use lipids. Okay, now we can see the structure of lipoprotein. You can see this is the structure of lipoprotein. Peripherally we can see this apoprotein and free cholesterol, phospholipid, and the core region that contain cholesterol ester, triglycerides. Okay, so lipoprotein, this is the structure of lipoprotein. So structure of lipoprotein: polar periphery made up of proteins, polar head of phospholipids and cholesterol. Once again we can see this picture. Phospholipids and cholesterol and apolipoprotein. These are the peripheral components. Okay, free cholesterol, apolipoprotein and phospholipid. Then the core region that contain inner core consists of hydrophobic triacylglycerol and tail of phospholipids. Inner core that contains you can see inner core that contain triglycerides and tail of phospholipids. Okay, that's about the structure of lipoprotein. Polar periphery made up of proteins, polar head of phospholipids and cholesterol. Inner core consists of hydrophobic triacylglycerol and tails of phospholipids, and we can see apoprotein in the peripheral region that increases the solubility of lipids. So here we are discussing the definition, then which are the separation method and how can we classify, and finally the structure of lipoprotein. Okay, that's about today's topic. Thank you all.